With Flusha leaving the Fnatic core and obviously long-time teammates in JW and Crims, it'll be a perfect time to look at his final game with this roster, talk about of course his incredible grenade usage and just the play style he likes to play with, as well as maybe a little bit of what was going on with this Fnatic side.
Don't know how to build a team from scratch or find good teammates? DreamTeam.gg, the ultimate team building platform. Find and connect with new players, coaches and teams. Manage and monetize your team. Get on fast track to advance from novice to amateur and, if desired, to professional gamer. Join DreamTeam.gg today.
Hey guys, what is going on? As I said in the intro, Fnatic's final BO3 series at the Major against Hellraisers was Flusha's last game for Fnatic. So I'm going to look at today some of what he does, in particular to start off with the HE grenade usage. And this is something Flusha's obviously very famous for. And he has a very good mentality set for when to use these grenades, and he always thinks ahead and is prepared and doesn't waste them. Such as this scenario here. He knows, alright, they've used all the utility, they're going to be planting the bomb soon. You can see, he pulls out his grenade before the bomb's even planted, has the lineup for the default spot, and Dead Fox takes 26 points of damage. Might not seem like a lot, but it can be the difference into a round. And this is one of the reasons that Flusha's utility damage is so high, is because he's always thinking of these different scenarios, and just doing this little chip damage. And even in just this single best of 3, there are many different examples of this. Such as this one here, where you can see Flusha uses the sound cues given to him, just to throw his utility in, do as much damage as possible again to the bomb planner. Knows from that sound it's not default. And Woxic takes a lot of damage again from these grenades. Very similar scenario, but again, it's the mentality from Flusha, such as this one here, where Flusha takes the opportunity to deal some risk-free damage before jumping through to help his teammates out. So obviously right now, if we look at the playing field, it's obviously very obvious that Flusha should be jumping through to help his teammates. You have 3 teammates alive, they're committing to the B site right now. But what does Flusha do before even doing that? He still has the mentality to pull out his grenade, try and deal this extra bit of chip damage before jumping through. This is something a lot of players wouldn't think of. They just want to get through, go for the gunfight, such as Flusha did then. He just got a kill. But this is one small thing that Flusha does and makes him just that little bit more effective than maybe some other players would. So watching Flusha is a great way to just get ideas of different times you could use these nades and what kind of the trigger points are for him to throw these grenades. Because as I said, he's very good at saving them and not really wasting them. There's always a reason behind, and it's pretty obvious to spot as to why he likes to throw out the grenade he does. And I actually forgot to include my favourite clip of the nade usage from Flusha, which is this one here. And he punishes Woxic quite well. So obviously the default utility set comes in from Flusha to try and gain control of this checkers area. I covered it in a recent video about Get Right. And Woxic puts it out, something that AWP will do sometimes, try and catch this T player off guard thinking it's safe. Well, Flusha hears this, and he will do this sometimes just a default. And he goes, alright, Woxic, you want to hold that angle? I'm going to just deal a little bit of chip damage onto you. There goes 23 points away from Woxic. So what does Woxic gain for this in the future? He's lost a smoke grenade, he hasn't got a kill, and he's lost 23 points of health. So it's very almost demoralizing for Woxic. They see they drop their own smoke now to cover it off. So great job by Flusha, not letting Woxic punish him with that play, but actually deterring Woxic maybe in the future for even trying to attempt something like this. Now before we start looking at some of the good Flusha does, I want to look at one play which in my opinion was particularly ugly and uncoordinated from Fnatic, which did ring a few alarm bells in my head when I saw it. So Flusha's obviously going to go for some kind of mid-presence here. He gets spotted unfortunately for him, and he's going to be in this lower position, just going to flash himself. So out obviously, trying to take this kind of pick before smoking himself off. Crims has gone down peeking from connector. And at this point, this is where things start to get interesting for me. Obviously Flusha's using all his utility trying to get out. He's just going to peek by himself and go down. And you might think, alright, he's had to do what he's had to do. He got stuck in lowers. Why not ask for help from a teammate? Draken's got 2 flashes. You can easily flash from this position over connector, potentially blind some players so that Flusha can keep out. JW is actually on his way here. He was holding apartments. He's like, all right, I got to go out here ASAP. Crims has gone down. He was already on his way before Flusha went. You see what's going to happen with JW is he's going to flash over. Exist is going to peek with this, try and get something done. JW as well. And they're trying to obviously fight back because they've lost some players, and Exist is going to go down as well. But if I'm Flusha, you've just smoked unders. You're probably pretty good from that position. You can just hold it and wait. Why isn't he just waiting from this flash from JW or asking for one from Draken, and then all 3 of them peeking out together? You can see obviously Exist and JW want to peek. You just add Flusha to that, so third person peeking increases your chances. But it seems like a lack of communication. Flusha not really asking for any help from his teammates or anything like that. JW is obviously very aware. You can see here, as soon as that first play goes down, JW is right over here. But Flusha isn't really interested in playing with his teammates in this one. He just wants to use all his own utility like he's in a pub with no comms. So that was interesting for me. And as I said, rang a couple of alarm bells. Obviously a very obvious and easy example for me to point out, but sometimes those are the most concerning ones. Flusha is generally, though, a pretty intelligent player, and his cohesion with JW in this particular round is something I really enjoyed, and obviously they know each other inside out, so it makes things a little bit different when you've been playing together for so long, but still really nice to watch, and this is probably what you should be striving for if you're playing in some kind of team system. So obviously 2 openers is very good, before Izz is going to find 2 returns of his own. Flusha generally wants to return frag this, before he's going to use his utility to force off this connector position, because you can see how this attack has come in from Fnatic. Obviously, they want control of this part of the map. They focus towards this jungle connector side, go for some kind of open plant. They don't really know what's going on towards the CT position. So obviously, they need control of both connector and jungle before they can plant this bomb relatively safely. So what's happening while Flusha is throwing this utility? Well, JW's got his jungle on lockdown, obviously knowing that this is the spot he's most open to while throwing this utility, and obviously they do quite a good job. Before then double peeking into connector, making sure this is clear. Dead Fox gets his timing pretty good. But notice as Flush is clearing this out, with his Molotov he's been used, JW is left, got the bomb and Molotov off jungle himself. So they have connector right now. Next thing is go towards jungle. And obviously, Flusha is trusted with protecting JW. Obviously, you can't get to him anyway at the Molotov, but Flusha's going to get in here, really try and clear out these positions, knowing where Dead Fox is, and creating this massive man advantage for Hellraisers. And then the next step I really enjoy is after all that, is this after plant they play together. Flusha's checking connector. What do you know, JW's got his jungle, not exposing himself to CT. So they've got both of these areas covered. The 2 spots as well, obviously, if you control, if Flusha stays alive, it makes this retake and defuse almost impossible for Hellraisers. And then, just watch from JW's point of view, as soon as Flusha goes back and checks jungle, JW's like, alright, I'm pretty good for now. He can flash, good flash from a teammate to peek in towards CT. And this after plant is just played really well from Fnatic before JW backs away, and he's going to find Angel, leaving Izza, the man with 2 kills, forced to save. So I just love the crosshair placement. You can see as that Molotov and such is coming in from Flusha, JW's got his jungle covered. They both peek into connector, and they're really understanding that they need control of these 2 parts of the map, in particular connector with where that plant is. So they forced Izza away with that utility, playing together really well. So that was just a really intelligent play overall. And when I thought, well, I enjoyed it, so hopefully you guys did as well. Another thing I've talked about before with Zipex videos with clutching is obviously clutching and how you like to play these man disadvantages, 1v2, 1v3. And even though Flusha loses this round here, he plays this correct in my opinion, not playing too passive, which is something we'd see a lot of players end up doing. So obviously beating the smoke here, getting the opening onto Bondic. Hopefully most of you understand that you can't just sit behind that smoke with 20 seconds left, you're going to lose the round. He gets out, makes an opening, before pushing in towards CT spawn, so that Dragon can plant the bomb where he does. And he's going to get information towards here. So Flusha does a really good job in this scenario, gets into CT, knows man disadvantage, alright. CT's clear, so he's got that information that he can go and come back and focus on the rest of this. And there's a couple of ways you could play this clutch, well, as a player. And one way that would be incorrect, but a lot of players would do this because they're a little bit scared, just sit in CT spawn, hold some kind of angle and wait for these players to come in and try and pick him off one at a time. The problem is that's not going to work out. What's going to happen is Woxic's going to clear everything. They know Flush was on the site. They've come through jungle. They're going to go, alright, Flush is in CT spawn. These 2 players will double face, Woxic can defuse the bomb, something like that, and there's almost no chance of you winning this scenario. So what Flush is going to do is, before they've cleared everything out and they're up to that there's 100% CT, he's going to try and make a peek, because he could still be default, maybe firebox somewhere else, trying to jiggle around. So as these players are coming up, what Flush is going to do is he's going to be like, alright, I'm going to peek out, try and find this timing, and you can definitely see how this one could have gone in his favour. These players line up, just doesn't find the head of Angel, so it's going to be a round loss. But if he finds that line, gets those 2 kills while they're trying to clear out players under Balk or whatever, he's left in the 1v1 with Woxic with an AWP, he can definitely win that 1v1. That's when you can play passive, you can jiggle around and be annoying. 1v2, 1v3, it's a lot harder to do that. So you can see, he takes his chance, doesn't work out, but something that a lot of players need to learn to do is taking the chance, understanding what is the highest percentage of play you can make in these 1vx situations. Round 30 of this match is one I really enjoyed as well, because you can see the veteran savvy coming out from players such as Crims and Flusha. To start off with, it's Crims. Understanding there's a potential opening here, he's going to look for something. A lot of younger players obviously would be scared that they're going to die and give this round over to Hellraisers. Obviously an elimination game at the major, that's almost as nerve-wracking as it can get. You see the information Crims is getting right now. He's hearing Angel's jump spotting right now. Wonder if I can catch this player off guard. He's obviously looking for information, he's looking for this spot, and he's right, alright, you're going to jump again, mate. I'm going to walk out here. Punishes Angels completely, and this is the B bomb site wide open. As I said, that's just a veteran status of someone like Crims being prepared to make this play. Good utility, I was going to say, good smoke at least, trying to get the Molotov to cut off the rotations. He does a really good job of allowing his players to rotate in here, and yeah, setting up this after plan. Now we're going to focus on Flusha, because Flusha's going to rotate in, and they're going to play this, obviously he's going to cover short, doesn't see anything, before using his utility smartly to continually get rid of this window position. And it's not for a while until I really enjoy what Flusha does. Creams is still going to do him, obviously repositioning, staying alive for as long as possible. But Flusha's going to clear this all out before coming back. And at this point, it becomes a 2v2. I'm a little bit ahead of myself. It gets to a 2v2, sorry about the spoilers. He's going to find Des Fox, obviously not scared to take this fight. But at this point, I really love what Flusha does. He's looking for information, he spots Woxic. So what's his response right now? He knows the bomb's quite low, he knows Draken's also here in apartments, he wants them to try and mix it up, the bomb's being mollied, and Woxic can potentially lock them both out here because they're in the same position. So what's Flusha going to do? He's going to be, alright, Woxic's probably moving out towards Van, he's going to jump out, find that timing perfectly, and end up locking out Isis. That's a great round, even though Draken finds the kill. I just love how Flusha's not prepared, or he is prepared to make that play, jumping out window, understanding where Woxic, I think it was, was most likely to be moving to, and really opening up this round and securing overtime it is for Fnatic. Unfortunately, overtime isn't quite exciting as the rest of the game, at least from Flusha's point of view. They do end up edging it out, if you don't remember, but that is actually where I'm going to end the video. So thank you guys all for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe to my channel if you enjoy this kind of content, and I'll catch you all in the next video.